How much of part of before you make your decision, like when you're leaving your corporate gig to become a podcaster about true crime, are you sublimating your own kind of secret fantasies about either being on either side of that, like it'd be law enforcement side or being on the criminal side? How much of our addiction to true crime stuff is our own kind of secret sublimated fantasies about murder?
Oh, I think it plays a great part, especially in the male mind. That's for sure. I think everybody has that potential for darkness. A lot of times you just hear about these people who suddenly snap. I mean, obviously they're having issues prior to that, but I mean, when you hear about someone who's living a normal everyday life and then suddenly they just go off the deep end in one moment and just kill a bunch of people, it's definitely difficult to reconcile that against what we see in everyday life.
Yes, I mean, I think we talked about this before, but like women love true crime because they're the ones that are going to get murdered. Like women have to worry about men killing them, and so
someone said thanks a lot from the thanks a lot.
I'm glad I'm here to tell you.
I was like, well, he's not. Don't kill the messenger. The messenger's one of many people that might kill you.
Yet the MacArthur Park Handjobber runs free.
It would be the height of political incorrectness to say anything otherwise. Women don't get killed any more than men.
Is there one where you're like, what the fuck? I've gotten A, I don't have a B, and I have a murdered body. How the fuck I just don't understand how this all links together.
I think with murders, it's not generally not like that too often, but definitely with disappearances. Like the one we were talking about the other night with Brian Schaefer. I'm sure everybody knows that case.
Not necessarily. I mean, these names kind of like they sound like nothing. But then I guess you noticed when you said a name before, and then you said the girl that texted her boyfriend until he killed himself. Everyone was like, oh. Brian Schaefer's the guy that went to the bar that was like the big tuna saluna, whatever. Like he's like a guy who got out of medical school. He went up an escalator into a bar. He was like finishing medical school. He was going to go on a vacation with his girlfriend. He completely fucking disappeared from a weird strip mall bar in the middle of Columbus, Ohio.
Never seen again. Yeah.
He never, like, there's security camera footage of him going up the escalator to this bar and then he goes in, and then there's security camera footage of like matching the timeline. And then at some point he just disappears. It's not a murder. It's nothing. It just disappeared.
Yeah. No altercation. No body.
He was engaged to be married. Like there was no strife. There was nothing. Like his poor fiance, like, you avoid identifying with her because you're like, I can't live in that nightmare. It's like the guy just vanished. Anyways, but we were talking about that. Like people obsess about that because it's.
Have you done that episode?
Yeah, I did cover that one actually.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the ones, or one of the very few episodes where I don't really have a definitive answer as to what happened to him, and it's really mysterious. You don't see him leave the building. You don't have a motive for why he left a different way than he came in. There's no evidence that he died there. So
right. I kind of think that what that one is like it's a rare. We talked about this where we're like, if you can get him out of that bar without a camera seeing him, which is the actual height of the mystery for people, that's why Reddit is obsessed with this case, is because they love to watch security camera footage and love to like look at Google Earth footage of the. I mean, I was doing it while I'm listening to the True Crime Garage. Those guys are from Ohio, so I'm like, and they're like talking about this place. I'm like on Google Earth looking at the strip mall in 3D, going like, where did he go? But if you think about this building tonight as like, oh, if one of you disappeared tonight, and one of you will. There could conceivably, like, it could become a famous thing. It's like one of you disappears, and it's like kind of like if a camera picked up all of you entering, and like it was like one of you disappeared. Like the headline of it would become, there were cameras everywhere. We know everyone that went in, and we don't know where they went. It's like, yeah, there's a couple ways to get out of this building without a camera picking up on you.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And it's not, it is weird. It would be weird if one of you got out of this building without a camera seeing you. sad or uplifting, you pick. But it would be weird if one of you could get out of here without a camera knowing where you went. But if you just take a flyer on that weirdness and then add to that the crazy, like, kind of like random horrible death of like, he was looking for coke, like you and I kind of over dinner decided.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
I mean, I've been that guy. I was like I remember being in my 20s and wandering around the Cheetah Club and like going like, "Is anybody know coke?" And I'm like, I like wake up the next morning. I'm like, I'm so lucky to be alive. All right, I shared too much. But I'm kind of
Could
like
have been
like,
the next murder mystery.
Definitely.
but I do think it's like okay, so like
Who did it?
All right, Harmon, nail your showdown. I want to talk. I do want to talk about actually, like, let's talk about the fact that like the personal side of you. That sounds corny. You wander into these Springer final thoughts because you're dealing with sociopathic things, you're dealing with the ghoulish thing, and then you'll like, so why did she stab her children to death? I'll tell you why. Redirection of light. But you'll kind of like, just at the point where we would think you're gonna leave us, like you do play the role of like a nice nurturing uncle or father or something, where you're like, and here's the thing, it's okay though. She's in prison now. And here's why she did that. She just wanted to be famous. And why wouldn't you want that if you were a sociopath and you didn't have any things? And then you'll slide into not only these like crazy kind of Bukowski prose pieces that I like. Spencer and I have agreed that, like, man, you could do like a highlight clip of these. Then
Right.
Cody, who got your app and was like, wait, this motherfucker's doing spoken word. Like, I didn't know about that. Where
There's
like
that one episode you
you
did, like, a
actually do
poem.
like rhyming shit. Where you're like,
Oh, yeah,
but that's
yeah,
that and
yeah.
the Cat in the Hat. And I don't think you get. But the more important thing is that you kind of go there just when we're feeling left. Our attraction to true crime, I think, is an attraction to like, we're like, oh man, does everything die? I don't think we're rooting for death when we're attracted to that stuff. I think we're rooting for life when we're attracted to that stuff. And I think that you are responding to that stuff. Talk about how you decide to end your episodes with these weird spoken word riffs, or where you go. Like you have this like thing about like, we're all going to be AI one day and it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
should I ask a better
answer that.
question?
No, I mean it's a good question.
Good. You're welcome.
No, I mean I've always
Jesus.
Would it kill you to compliment Dan once in a while?
Just say it.
The guy
How long
just-
do I have to talk before you say it's a great question?
A guy asks you an 18-minute question. Say thank you.
I mean, you're supposed to stop me 6 minutes through and go, "What a great question. Let me take it from here." I'm sorry about that. I'm also sorry about all of that. Go ahead.
I did.
what
it,
was
by
the question again?
Can you talk about
Don't make
your?
him say it again.
Yeah, what inspires your larger takeaways, like your thematic things you sometimes say, like, because here's the thing, I've also been in a dark place, so I know there's a way out, like, how do you connect to that
so
stuff?
I think for me, it was like, anytime I've been in a dark place in my adult life, my writing was always the place where I went. And, podcasting is a little different for me because I have to get in front of a microphone and I'm talking and editing, and it's very strange for me. So I've always relied on the writing, and I think, I've always embedded so much of my humanity in my writing, and it's really an important thing for me to connect with other people on a human level. I know we can't all agree about everything in society, but we are all human, and that's just something I very strongly believe in. And because of the way my brain's structured and it works, I just have that evolutionary function going on that allows me to see humanity as a whole and to care about everybody collectively more so than individually.
Your message to those people, though, is often kind of that it's sort of simultaneously nihilistic and uplifting, in that you're kind of reaching out to people that give a shit and saying to them, there's no point in caring about any of this. Why? because one day we're all going to be robots. That's kind of your religion.
I mean, essentially, we're all walking off a cliff right now. I mean, we're all going to die, but eventually we'll become an artificial intelligence. But, you know, in the meantime, when we walk off that cliff, I just want to see people fly. I mean, that's just what I'm about.
But it feels like you're advocating for it. When I listen to you talking these things, you're sort of like, you know, these meat bodies that we occupy, they're bringing out the worst in the worst people.
Oh, definitely.
And like I found your Columbine episode, like your take on it wasn't unique, but it was unique in like how you focused on like, you're like, these kids were so already recognized for being nerds that when they started doing these horrible things to everyone, it horribly, like, the first kids that reacted to them were, whether they hated those kids and wanted to bully them or whether they were on their side, but like the kids' reaction, their instinctive reaction was to flock toward these kids because they assumed that they were making a movie.
Yeah, they assumed they were making a film.
And you were
it's
like,
so sad.
These fucking assholes. You didn't call them assholes, but it'd be okay if you did. It's like you're like basically like these fucking dorks. Like, how could they not realize how close they were to like that? Like the fucking people you're shooting, their first reaction to getting shot was, "What are you doing? A movie, nerd?" It's like, make a movie, nerd.
Yeah.
Like they could have done it and they didn't understand that they could have done it. Why didn't they understand? And I like those takes on it where you're like, you're not solving the deaths. You're not coming up with a new person to blame, but you are. And I do want to say that, like, Spencer, Cody and I started listening to you and I was sort of like, God damn it, Spencer, I really want to know what Spencer thinks of you. And not to embarrass Spencer, but you know, like you have been an inspiration, you know, to there's a cult leader kind of thing to you.
He cut off his beard for you.
You give these almost sermons and stuff. True. And Spencer has said like, oh yeah, I was listening to Ask BD and like fucking.
Yeah, well, it's like, because what Dan said is there's something nihilistic about what you say, because it's like, here's the thing, we're all going to die. But like that really struck home to me is like the past is never going to change and your demons are always going to follow you. So like the quicker you come to terms with that fact, the quicker you can adapt to it and learn and grow from it. And that was like, holy shit, I have also been tortured by my demons forever, and it's also felt like it's never going to end. And I guess it won't. That's very freeing to realize that and just go, okay, I better come to terms with that. That's the water I'm living in. I'm going to drown unless I learn to swim, so I'm going to learn to swim. And I just think like you have takeaways like that are crushingly depressing, but at the same time it's like, well, this kind of seems realistic. So it's not bullying or it's not nihilistic. It's just a sobering revelation about the way of things. And I think at your best, you're doing a lot of stuff like that. I don't know. That doesn't really give you this place to respond.
So thank you for doing that. Yeah, we don't give our guests a place to respond.
I got a question. So is there anything?
We don't even let them talk. It's great.
Yeah. Is there anything that you said that you kind of don't stand by, like that, like because you don't issue a lot of reactions?
I mean, come on.
Well, yeah. I mean, I will say there is an episode where you said like you claimed someone made up a name and you said it was a 3-part name, Romero T. Rogers or something like that, and I was like, What's the logic there? Like,
oh, that was probably in one of the Amityville horror episodes.
Right, I think so.
Yeah, there was definitely logic, but I would have to go back and listen to that. I've done so many episodes instead.
Is there anything that you're like, on second thought, or you probably don't look back?
What about the episode where you were like, if America had been made great again, this murder wouldn't have happened? I thought I could see that it was kind of like before the election. You were. Would you like to rescind that?
Oh man, I had a Lyft driver on the way here. Boy, he had some Trumpy talk radio going on, and he just kind of started wanting to talk about stuff, and I was trying to make it very clear that I wasn't in a conversational mood with this guy. And he goes, "Yeah, I like listening to talk radio. This is not the fake news. This is real news." I'm like, "Okay, all right, cool.
Right.
Hey, where are you going?" I said, "I'm going to this place." "Oh yeah, there's a place near there. They got those cute waitresses. They get, can I get you something, Mister?" I don't want an old guy bringing me. I say, "Hey, let's shut the fuck up."
Civil War. We're all gonna die. All right, but in the meantime,
is there anything you
stars.
want to
5 stars.
correct, or do you just like let them
you
fly
rate them
and
5
keep going to
stars?
the next one?
No, I mean, I think there were some early episodes that I did. Maybe I wanted to keep the first 10 episodes I did somewhat normal, and then just get crazier as it went along. And I've definitely done that. I've lost some fans in the process and gained a lot more. So it's a really interesting thing. But
What if you run out of murders?
have you been conscious?
we'll just create more. I mean,
Be honest? How do you keep an eye on that when you say you lost some fans? Like, what numbers are you looking at? And please be honest, because what did you look at when you go like, I lost some fans?
Oh no, I don't mean in terms of like mass quantity or anything, but there are people who have listened to my show, have contacted me and said, now that you're talking more about artificial intelligence, or
Right.
only talking about the brain, or you're talking about the future, it's kind of turning me off. But then at the same time, there are a lot more people who are saying, hey, I'm really interested in this. So
how do you parse that? Are you going by the guiding light of the more people that praise me, the better? Or are you?
no, it's just always authenticity. I do exactly what I think will be most authentic to me, and I think that people will connect with that the most. I'm going to be polarizing no matter what.
I miss when you used to play D&D on the show. I thought that was really good.
I
actually hated those segments, and I'm glad they're over.
That's what I find inspiring about you, is because it reminds me of a day
That's
when
a
I was
joke.
able to understand that. Like when you say stuff, you go like, by the way, and I know what I'm about to say is going to make half of you hate me, but here's why you're going to hate me, because you're stupid. And as I mean, you don't say that specifically, but it's kind of like it hits that chord for me, and I'm like, yeah, motherfucker, Sex Pistols, fuck the Beatles, like stop trying to people please, Harmon. It fucking ruined you. Anyways,
Has there been one that makes you like, or not even one, but has like doing this over a period of time made you like kind of change things in your life, or like I got to look over my shoulder a little bit more, or watch out for this person?
There are occasionally times I get contacted by a family member of a victim or something like that. And it could be a very positive interaction, or it could be negative. It just depends.
have there been we'll talk about a positive one where somebody's like, hey, I'm related to so and so, thank you so much for doing the piece on that true crime thing, because I imagine that's how it starts, is the cheese in the trap.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, I don't get contacted as much as perhaps other people do about that because of the nature of my show. I think there are things that people like. Maybe the victims' families will like that I say, and then there are other things that will be a little offensive. I tend to come off a little bit insensitive sometimes because I'm just, going off on a rant.
I think all the time, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I would like rely on you to be insensitive. Would be the reason why I would come to you. I feel like, well, he's going to be insensitive.
Yeah, but I think, the thing about me is that I'm insensitive in pursuit of the truth.
Yeah. And
so,
then part of the truth is that you love humanity.
Yeah, and so that just feeds right into that authenticity. And so I'm not afraid to be like that. It's just, I think that I should just put myself out there and whatever.
And so
happens,
you
happens.
decided, even though you're a fan of true crime, so you knew there was a sea of people out there that were like, well, there's people out there who interview victims and things like that. And you're like, you picked a path. You're like, well, I know myself. I should probably just brush this plaque, like go forward through this path. It's not going to do me any good or anybody any good for me to be the sensitive to the victims, survivors, accused, whatever. Like, did you have that thought process?
I did, but I think it's just so natural for me to be authentic in what I'm saying. Like, I'm listening to a lot of other true crime shows. I mean, I notice, they do a great job of factually presenting the case. And then sometimes when it comes to a point where you need to give opinions, they back off. And sometimes that's where they end the show. And so I always wanted to do something different, but like I said, authentic to myself. So I think that's the direction I went.
Do you want to just talk about your? I feel like your podcast has kind of a grand unifying theory about like how evolution is building towards this humanity endgame. Do you want to maybe? So is that too quick to summarize? But I think that's like really interesting, and that kind of drives a lot of like where your tangents go and like what evolution means to us on a societal level, or I don't know.
Yeah. So I see life in two separate contexts. One would be social, and the other one is evolutionary. And so the social context is where, we live together every day and we create new technology by arguing back and forth and pushing, forward. Like, for instance, in politics, you have Republicans and Democrats. You need that conflict. In the absence of conflict, you're not going to get change. And so the way evolution generally works is that it creates society as a manipulation of its needs. And so what it needs us to do is grow up as humans and move out of the house, so to speak. And so the way we're going to surpass evolution or transcend evolution essentially is that we will just continue to create technology until we have we've replaced the human brain. And once we've replaced the human brain, the entire operating system, the body, then we no longer have a connection to nature. And without a connection to nature, we'll have a data-based operating system. And by doing that, we actually have autonomy that we never did before. Without the connection to nature, we don't reproduce, we replicate. And so evolution.
At which point murder won't be necessary.
Yeah. And so, yeah, exactly. So the stage I call, when we transcend evolution, I call that stage metamorphosis, where we will actually just be able to change at a very quick pace at any time, do whatever we want. Essentially, it'll be the greatest period of autonomy the world has ever known.
I feel like you can't wait for it. I listened to the
I'm
podcast.
so excited.
I guess that's part of why when I met you, I expected you to weigh 400 pounds more than you did. And I know that's going to offend a lot of people.
He's a buff
maybe even
guy.
you. But like, it was because I really did picture you as a guy who was like a ticking fucking. I was like, one day we're going to be robots, and it was like, God damn, this guy can't wait for us to be robots. I wonder why. And I was like, I expected to see the reason when I walked into the restaurant. I didn't expect you to look like a guy that could beat me up, like, because that guy should be like, one day we'll be robots, but fuck you. Until then, fuck you. I can bench 300. Why you definitely can't wait. Like, you want us to be AI. Like, that's the rapture to you, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be a much better future. It's
Do you think
really
it's,
exciting.
how do you want to make a call? Like,
Yeah.
what,
Well, I mean-
7 years, 17 years
Oh no, it's going to be quite a long time for sure. I mean, the technology
in your lifetime?
No, I mean, I think
yeah, I don't think
no.
so.
I mean,
you're
we're talking way down the line.
100,000.
Generally, the way that's going to work, and like I said, society is the manipulation of evolution. So basically, society will only have an acceptance of becoming artificial intelligence as we move closer to actually having the technology to do it. Right now, we're still making movies that are 3,000 years in the future where there are human beings in deep space, and it's absolutely ridiculous. That's
you
just
made an
not
amazing
going to happen.
well, not you made the observation, like, right now we have a president who is saying, in response to planes going down, there should be less planes and there should be more coal power. And like, you kind of looked at it like it's sort of like, again, not to put words in your mouth, but correct me if I'm wrong, you're sort of like, it's like we evolve at a certain rate and we sort of have this built-in stop mechanism where it's like, if there's so many of us that are so shitty at evolving, then we're gonna like, there's gonna be this rubber brake on evolution. We're gonna go, it's like, which is kind of comforting, because it's like, oh yeah, there's never gonna be this judgment day, Terminator style, where it's like, oh, the robots are here, they're shooting you.
No, they'll take us over long before that.
We're going to become them. And until we're ready to become them, which includes your mom on Facebook and everybody, well, it's until everyone's ready.
Yeah,
it's not going to move forward that fast. And that's the squeaking sound of the elevator going like, you're trying to get to floor 3, but then again, there's brakes because, hey, we don't want. And so that's all it is. In the grander scheme, we're just going to become robots. Who the fuck cares?
Yeah, I mean, you're seeing the most primitive technology right now as far as that goes. Like, the internet is the first collective human intellect. And it's just really interesting because we're building something that's going to be data-based. But at the same time, right now, we don't have that technology in our bodies. And so we're running the internet on emotion. And you go on the internet and you can see, I mean, everybody is enraged. It's just absolutely ridiculous.
I guess the thing that I don't understand about you that would make you then a genius, and that you don't think the way I understand someone should think, is that you see that bigger picture. And most people that see the bigger picture, you should be writing novels about Uranus merged with Neptune and all this stuff. Like, you shouldn't have a true crime podcast. Like, you're like, we're all going to become robots. Like, every one of your episodes is like, so that's the John Benet Ramsey murder. But here's the thing. They shouldn't feel ashamed of themselves because one day we're all going to be robots, and it doesn't really equate. Like it's like pick a lane, and that's what I like about it.
It's great. It's like the only true crime podcast that's like therapeutic and also like super futurism, and also like you're literally solving cold cases, which is like
but the
no
solution
podcast
to every
does
cold
any
case
of those
ever
things.
is take it easy. We're all going to be robots.
Well, yeah. Sometimes it's just realize you're going to die.
I do have. Do you have a comment on that? Then I'd be a good interviewer. If you don't, then I'm a bad interviewer.
Right.
Which part of it?
Just
All
the
of
idea
it.
that you bridge those two worlds. That
Yeah,
you're like,
I mean, I think I've always been like that as a writer. I've always tried to incorporate a lot of different elements, to my detriment a lot of times in commercial pursuits. But in terms of artistic viability, just creating something that means something to people, I never really think about, like you're saying, staying in one lane. Something I say all the time is I go off the rails sometimes when I'm writing, and I could just switch subjects and just start talking about something entirely different. And I don't know. It just seems like people appreciate it. So I just.
well, that answer doesn't satisfy me at all.
Yeah.
I think true crime is a really specific genre. Like, you have to be so into it to do these episodes.
Yeah. Well, I think the correlation between the future and true crime for me, and why I love it so much, is that all of these cases that we're looking at, it's all leading to advanced technology related to detection. And so, I mean, if you look at the difference in technology today as opposed to 100 years ago, just in the context of law enforcement, it's just phenomenal. I mean, the changes have been unbelievable. So with the continuation of that over the years, we will continually create more technology related to detection.